welcome to the river. Today we've really put ourselves up against something that's going to be quite a challenge. Usually this river is a lot further down than it is right now. We are dealing with almost double the speed, or at least 50% again more speed of water coming through this area than we usually are. Right now I'm up almost to my thighs in water, to where usually I'd be below my knees. So it's going to be a lot of challenge to get this bait down to the fish and in front of them to the point where they're going to be able to see it and take this strike. We're going to be utilizing some pretty fine-tuned equipment that I'll discuss with you later that's going to enable us to do that. So stay tuned, check it out, and hopefully we're going to be landing a couple fish real soon. Now when doing these drifts, the one thing you really want to be sure of is that you're touching bottom, because that's where the fish are. You're going to lose a lot of tackle, you're going to get hung up, but it's imperative to be down there because that's where the fish are doing. They're getting out of the current and coming up into it to grab their prey. So when you're bumping the bottom and you're feeling it, that's where you want to be, because that's where the fish are. There we go. It's all about getting to the bottom. I'm not going to say any of these fish are big anymore, because when they get in this current, it's just no holds barred, and it's just half fish and it's half current. But sooner or later, with all these little guys in there, there's got to be a big one. Now when I rig these mealworms, I like to do it a certain way to really do the most natural presentation possible. What I do is I go in through the first ring just behind the head. I feed it all the way through, around the bend. When I get to the eye of the hook, I pull it through to conceal it. Therefore, the whole length of the hook is concealed inside the mealworm. The only thing that's showing is the barb, ready to rock. And makes a perfect presentation. Holds the mealworm nice and straight. They can't see anything until it's too late. I wonder what he's going to do. He's going to be right here. He's going to be right here in front of it. Getting out of this fast water. There we go. There we go. This is a decent fish. Now the one thing, I got a couple nibbles on this fish before, and the difficult thing to do here is to basically really try and remember exactly where you were, because you have to be so careful fishing these things back and forth, going across the river, getting every single inch of river that you can. And you know, if you do get a tap, remember where that spot is so you can go back to it. Now we're running 2-pound test here, so this fish I got to be really careful with in this type of water. It's not real big, but with this current, he's definitely giving me a run for the money. Looks like a nice rainbow. We can get him out of this current. He wants to come in out of the current. There we go. Nice little bow. Nice little bow for first part of the day. We're going to let them go. See if we can find another one. There we go. One thing to keep in mind with this equipment is when you're dealing with this light line like this Seaguar fluorocarbon 2-pound test that we're using, you gotta have good equipment. And I trust the sensitivity of this quantum rod and this quantum catalyst reel. The drag is smooth enough for 2-pound tests, so for when these fish want to run, it's not going to give you any hesitation. It's going to be smooth as silk and allow that drag to go without worrying that it's going to snap. So the 6.5-foot rod ultralight that we're using has the bend that we need for these types of fish, and this type of fishing has the sensitivity that we need, and combine it with this catalyst reel and you've just got a winning combination that'll handle the sensitivity and the strength and the power when you need it to land these fish with 2-pound test ultralight gear.